Smart. Pete's Car Smart. Pete's Car Smart. Where even the littlest tech tips make a big, big, big difference.
So when you get to the point of saying, I got all my body work done, I primed the car, I need to get those deep scratches out, I'm going to go ahead and take my my orbital air file, I'm going to iron everything out, I'm going to do what I got to do. We had a low spot over here, we had to redo all this here, and you get to the point where you can't use air tools no more. What are we going to do, my friend Pete? Can you tell me what I'm going to do to finish this quarter panel? Because look at this thing. Look at it. It's a 1967 GTO. The car's probably been painted 7 or 8 times in the past. But I stripped it down to bare metal. I did major construction. Should we have replaced the quarter panels on the car, or should we have done this? That's a scale that says, maybe so this way and maybe so that way, and if we balance everything out and we do it this way, it's going to work out okay. So I decided, we're going to do the body work. We're going to get it all done. We're going to do it right. But we're at the stage right now that says we got to get her done, and we got to get her done quick. So let's take a look at this quarter panel and kind of ride the road map, you might say, of what's going on here. Now, if you look real close, you can see that this car's already been primed. That means that I have done all the body work to it, and I am now going back and I'm block sanding it down to get all the highs and lows out of it so I can get these quarter panels as straight as possible. Are they going to be perfectly 100% straight? I am not going to guarantee that. I'm not guaranteeing that because these are the original quarter panels. It was crushed in over here, got in a big giant wreck right here. I cut steel out over here and replaced it because we converted this Le Mans into GTO. You see what I'm saying? So we got a lot of body work on this, and when you're looking at a car like this, you definitely aren't going to paint it black. But what the real deal is we're down to the final stages, and you can see that I went ahead and put a skim coat of filler on this, and it's a really big skim coat because when I blocked all this out on my second sand job, I realized that it was really low in this area. Right in here it was really low, so I had to refill this and block it out to get that finish that I wanted and the contour that I needed. So by doing that, what happened is I removed a lot of the filler that was here, and from using my jitterbug air file, let's take a look at that. And if you want to learn more about this tool, watch the video that I made about it. It's an amazing tool, and it's a tool that you need if you're working on classic cars like this. It's a tool that will save you a lot of time. So yeah, make sure you check that video out. And also, while we're talking about videos, make sure to check out my merchandise right below the video here. And also, give me a like if this video helped you out. And also, leave a comment in the comment section and let me know how I'm doing to help you. And also, if you have other suggestions that people can use, leave those suggestions so people can intertwine and give me your opinion on how you would do this mess, how you would fix it, and make it right. So what I need to accomplish to finish this out, because this is basically the last section that I need to mess with to give it the final prime job, is that I got to break this down, feather it all in, and make it where it all blends. Everything that you do when you are painting a car or a truck is you have to blend everything together. Does that make sense? You're blending this Bondo into the metal. You're going to prime this car, you're going to block sand it, you're going to blend all that, you're going to get your highs and lows out and make everything disappear, or it's going to all blend in together, so when you look at the car, it's not going to have those highs and lows and deeps, deep holes here and sticking out. You see what I'm saying? So it's really important to know how to block this down to do your blend job on your bodywork. Now, at this stage right here, I don't want to use any more air tools, because when you use the air tool is going to take that Bondo off at such a high extreme and so fast that you won't have control to keep it the way that it's supposed to be kept. So what I'm going to do is, I got some sanders here and I want to show you those. I got this one here, which is approximately 11 or 12 inches. And now I'm at the stage I don't want to use any 36 grit sandpaper. What I do want to use is I want to use 80 grit stick-on file paper. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on my Durablock, because that's what we got here. We got us a Durablock. All right, brand new piece of sandpaper, brand new, nice clean block, flex block at that, so we can make sure we ride the contours. But we're not done there, because we got another block. Since this is such a giant and huge quarter panel, we got another block that we're going to use to go along with this one. And the one I'm talking about is this 36-inch hand sand block. This is a block that you can purchase by yourself. Is that 36 inches? I don't even know. No, that's not a 36 incher. I would say that's probably a 2 foot. No, that's bigger than 2 feet. Let me go ahead and measure that real quick using my feet, and I'll tell you how much it really is. Let's see, so we got 1 foot here, and then we got 2 feet here. Yeah, that's almost 3 feet. That's almost a 3 feet block that we're using to do our final block job on that big giant long quarter panel. But then we're not even really done there, because if I reach up under here, look at this block that I got. Look at that block there. Now you think this would only be for round stuff, but I actually use this to fine tune. You see how I'm sanding that? And look at the dust coming off. I'm not even putting any pressure on it. All right, I'm fine tuning it, and I'm blending my bodywork into the metal quarter panel. You see there? All right, and when I do that, the reason I'm using this is because this lip is round. So I'm not sitting here sanding that, but I'm bringing it down and I'm sanding it into it, okay, like I'm shaving it. Do you understand what I'm talking about here? Okay, let me get this other block here. I got a couple more I want to show you. Now, this is another Durablock, and it's the next size down from that one. And then, of course, we would use this, okay, for, let's say, this area right here that I had to fill in. All right, when I first blocked this out with my orbital air file, we found out that we had 2 or 3 little spots here. So I went ahead and skimmed a coat on that, and then I used my Durablock, and I blended all that in, and I made it right. You see what I'm saying? Very important to always have a good set of hand blocks in your possession. One more I want to show you, and then we're going to do some work here, is this is actually out of a packing box of a hood. Now, a lot of times when you get the high-end stuff like Jaguars, BMWs, and some very expensive Chevy hoods and Dodge hoods, when they're made out of aluminum, they're going to be packed with this flexible foam. And what you do is you take that foam and you can make specialty blocks out of it. Do you see how this one here, it's a flex block. So you see, when it comes down to your final sand job, now we're talking the final sand job, ready for primer, it takes a lot of hand job action to really get it right. And this is what we're going to show you today, is how to get that where it's all blended together, it all molds in, and it's going to be a beautiful car when you're done. Now, one more thing I do want to show you before we go any further. I want to let everybody know this is not 100% pure Bondo that we're working with. Or if you want to get politically correct, lightweight body filler, okay? What I have done, I have put an additive in this to give it a more crisper finish, and it also makes it flow out a lot better. And the product that we're talking about is the Plastic Honey. This is a very good product to use. A lot of people say, hey, you can go ahead and use, what is that? That fiberglass resin does the same thing. I've never used fiberglass resin, so I'm not going to comment on that, but I have used this stuff, and what I do is I add a little bit of this with my Bondo on the final coat, and what that does, that makes that flow out, just like if you were using polyester glazing putty or something of that nature. And then, of course, by using the Plastic Honey, instead of going and buying your polyester filler, you're saving a lot of money, because those little plastic cans of that polyester filler that you see, those are like $35, $40 for one of those. And to do this car here would probably take, I would have probably went through 4 bottles of that stuff, so that's almost $200. So I've added that in, and another thing is it makes it very easy to sand. It's just like sanding. If you know what polyester filler is and you've sanded that versus Bondo, then you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's get back to the video here. We all know about the honey plastic, this, that, and the other, and what we did and everything else, but what we're really here for is to use that sanding block and to do it right. Come on over here, Norm. Come on over here, nitpick Norm. Real quick, I'm doing a video here, please. Okay, nitpick Norm's out there selling cars today, and we already know what kind of car he's selling. Let's go out there and check it out and see what kind of piece of trash that he's trying to get $1 million for today. All right, what kind of rotted piece of crap you trying to sell today, Norm?
It's not rotted, it's burnt.
Oh, it's not?
It's burnt.
Because I've heard you talking to a lot of people on the phone telling them how beautiful the car is.
It's gorgeous. Look at it.
Is it?
Look
Is
at
it?
it.
Because I heard you tell them that the body's straight and clean and there's not a lot of dents in it, and it's just a really nice car that you can actually restore. Let's go check that out. Let's go check it out.
Beautiful, man.
Hold on, what are you doing here?
Beautiful.
What are you doing here? You're doing the used car sales trick. You're gonna put all fresh fluids in it so when it checks the dipstick, it's all clean.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So let me ask you a question, Norm. What do we got here, dude? What kind of rat rod machine is this?
This is a 1957
Okay.
Ranchero.
But you said that it didn't have any dents and it was easy to fix.
No, I said the roof is all dented.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
I did. I said the roof.
Oh, okay. It must have been the hood you said was perfect condition.
I didn't say that was perfect.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was the fender. It was the fender.
Look at here. He's back again.
Oh, son of a bitch. You little bastard. Now we got to tip it over and get you out of there again. How many times is this, Norm?
This will be the third time.
Poor little, look at him. Poor little bastard. Let's tip it over. Let's get him out of there. Watch out. He wants to jump at me.
I know. Come on.
All right, when we tip it over, watch out. I don't want him jumping at me.
Me either.
Ready?
Yeah.
Go, go, go.
Wait.
I don't want him biting my arm, Norm.
All right, ready? Set.
Not really. Go.
Why is it so hard?
I don't know, dude.
Kick that out.
I don't want him jumping at me, Norm. You saw what happened last time. He almost attacked me. Why don't we trade places?
No! I need my right arm on the back.
Hang on.
Last time we just tipped it over without any trouble.
I know we tipped it over, Norm. I know. But I'm going to be in the front there. And
Put the lid down. Tip it over.
no, then the lid'll stay closed and won't get out.
Then we can flip the lid up.
Look, the lid's going to stay closed. Are you ready? Go, go, go. There it is. Come on. Go, boy. Get out of there. Go on, get! You little son of a bitch. Look at him. Look at him go. Smile into the bank all the way. Come on. I can't believe that. The little motherfucker ain't learning his lesson, Norm. Nope. He's been in there all day long in the hot sun. Okay, he's trying to get this thing sold, so we're going to leave him alone.
Yeah.
But you see what's going on here, okay? You see the action that Big Norm's pulling. And you know what's really amazing? He'll sell it and get a big, big profit out of it. Thank you, Norm. Okay, now that we went ahead and saved the life of a baby raccoon, that's the second time, 2 weeks in a row, that I've actually saved his little ass. Now, I can't keep him as a pet. Minnie the body shop girl won't let me. And I will tell you, he's a very mean little son of a bitch. The last time he almost attacked me when we were tipped it over. That's why I was using that pole. But we saved a life today. And, you know, God bless our souls. Anything that eats and breathes, we should let them live as long as they can. That's all I can say. Back to what we were talking about is block sanding. This is really turning out to be a long DIY video. It's actually turning out to be a vlogger video more than work. But, you know, hang with me. I'm going to show you what's going on here. So, I'm going to take my hand block, and normally, if this was like a new car, and let's say that this was the only dent, I would go ahead and use my air file on that to bust it down. But since we're blending our bodywork and we're trying to get it done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand sand block, and how big is this one, my friend Pete? Tell me, please. Okay, this is a 12-inch, so this is like a 14-incher, 16-incher block. And then what I'm going to do, now I want you to watch this. Okay, I'm just going to hand sand that very carefully. And all we're going to do is hand sand this to where we need it to be sanded, to where it all blends together. We don't want to use our air tools. Did I mention that? Let's get some hand sanding done, and let's see if we can get this thing done. One more thing you want to do is use your dust mask all the time. What we're working on the same quarter panel, but this is several months later after I have reprimed it. Now, what we saw previously before this little section here, I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you, is that it's very, very important when you're doing a lot of body work, like this quarter panel is right here. It's very important to do the job to the best perfection you can, because your prep job, and that's what this is, from start to finish until you get to this point here, this is a prep job. Now, remember we were sanding in this area right here just several minutes ago. Actually, it was several months ago, but in this video. And you can see, right in this area right here, you can see that I still had imperfections after I put my final primer job on it. Using your hand blocks and doing your hand sanding is the most important sanding that you can ever do when it comes to refinishing a panel. Whether it's one little door panel or possibly a fender and you're blending in, the hand sanding is the trick to a perfect paint job. What I'm doing right now is this is our final prime job. Now I will have to spot prime this area right here, but by using my hand sanders once again, I have found my high spots, I found my low spots, and I have taken this 7.5 foot quarter panel that was sitting in the junkyard. This is the original quarter panel. This has not been replaced, and I have made it work once again. I also want to explain that I make a lot of videos on sanding, and the reason I do that is because I'm trying to show you, the viewer, the guy out there, or possibly a girl, that learning the techniques of all the sanding that it takes I got videos on using a DA sander to sand. Whether it's Bondo or primer, I got videos on using air files to sand with. I got videos on sanding from start to finish. This is just another example, you might say, or possibly another technique of getting it to the sanding and to the final prep that it takes to make that job worthwhile. Here's another sand block that I've been using on this. Now I want to explain to everybody, I'm actually down to 320 on this right now, but this is a sponge block. All right, let me show you that. That's a hand sponge block. Now, you can sand the whole car with this, but when you use a block like this, you're not pushing real hard, okay? You're just lightly sanding it in long strokes. You don't see me going this way and this way and this way. You see me going, all right? You see what I'm saying here? I'm not putting any pressure on it, but if you look at it, the block itself, even though there's not a lot of weight there, it's doing the job that I need it to do to get the job done. And that is what it's all about. So always remember, whether you're sanding Bondo or you're sanding primer, or possibly even sanding bare metal to find your highs and lows, using your hand blocks and doing the job that the hand block is made for is the most and best job that you'll ever do. Just nice and easy. Look at that. Okay, it feels like velvet. And something else I want to say is, a lot of people would look at this long quarter panel and they say, that's a lot of sanding, I'm going to do it super fast. You don't have to do it super fast, because when you're sanding it just like I am, okay, you're going to be done in no time. So keep watching these videos that I'm making on sanding primer, sanding Bondo, sanding bare metal. And you're going to get to know, and you're going to learn the techniques that it takes to do it right. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, trying to teach you how to not just sand a panel, but learning the technique of what it takes to accomplish something in life and to finish the job that you start, because that's the most important thing here, is finishing something that you start and not giving up, and doing the best that your ability can do to finish that job. Don't give up, don't quit, and don't walk away from something. I'm getting paid to do this job. I have to do a nice job. But that doesn't mean that when I do something for myself, or I do something for free, or I lose my ass, because I lose my ass a lot. I lose my ass a lot on a lot of work that I do here, because sometimes I underbid, and it might be because I'm just a nice guy, and I help a lot of people out. So I would say probably 50 to 60% of all the work I do, I pretty much lose my ass and I barely make a living. But the reason I'm telling you this is because I don't give up. I do the best job I can, I finish the job complete, and it's a done deal. And that is what's going to give you the techniques to do what basically I'm doing. This is Pete again, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, and we're going to be painting this car complete. I've already got the door jambs painted, and it's going to be a beautiful car when it's done, because I'm finishing it and doing it complete. And that is the key word of today: complete. Complete what you're doing, make it a complete job. It's a complete situation that has complete solutions to make everything work right. See you later.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.